Hello everyone, I'm Emily.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are the hosts of the I Don't Think So podcast. Each episode we discuss a different story, theory, or mystery and decide if we think it's believable or if we really don't think so.
Here at the I Don't Think So podcast, we are affiliated with Flurry Sports, and we present our different stories, theories, or mysteries on your favorite place to listen to podcasts every Wednesday. If you like what you hear, leave us a rating, like our show, follow us on our socials at I Don't Think So _EH, or check out our YouTube channel at IDTS Conspiracies.
Woo! 2 weeks in a row!
Party.
Yeehaw! Welcome to February.
February.
That's how I know how to spell it. Otherwise, it's like, I don't know.
The amount of words that I don't say how they're spelled, and I was I help kids try to sound them out. I don't say February, I say February.
Correct. I mean, yeah, same.
But then they try to sound it out, and you're like, we don't say it like that.
I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you pronounced every letter that's in there, that would be. Or do you ever I still in my head when I spell the word beautiful say beautiful.
When I spell people, I go people.
It's like, oh, weird.
Yeah,
weird how we have those memories.
Mm-hmm.
But for our month of February, Hannah and I have decided to come back to a bit of a love of ours.
Mm-hmm.
True crime.
True crime is always interesting. Sadly, always stuff to talk about. So.
Oh, God. Always. Which is a little bit of a bummer. But I today wanted to talk about kind of the chilling murder of Cari Farver.
Oh, I haven't heard about this one.
I think you might know the story once I start talking about it a little bit.
Okay.
But a Netflix documentary came out recently kind of about this murder.
Okay.
And this little love triangle that happened.
Oh.
So this is a woman who seemingly sent texts for years after her disappearance.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this happened in November 2012. Shayna Liz Golyer murdered Cari Farver and then spent the next 3 years pretending to be her while sending tens of thousands of texts and email to their shared love interest.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it. It's wild.
Oh
Start
my gosh.
to finish. So the murder of Cari Farver is one of the most chilling and bizarre true crime cases in modern American history. She was 37 years old from Iowa, and she started this whirlwind romance with Dave Krupa of Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, whirlwind from Iowa to Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, spicy.
I know. They started this romance in October of 2012, and 2 weeks later, she vanished. Never to be seen again.
2 weeks of a romance and she's
2
gone?
weeks gone.
That's insane.
So Dave, however, had nothing to do with her mysterious disappearance. Cari was abducted and murdered by Shayna Liz Golyer, a woman who Dave had been casually dating before he ever met Cari.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
But get this, for the next 3 years, Liz posed as Cari, sending thousands of text messages and emails to Dave and Cari's family members. She would even send herself threatening messages so that Dave wouldn't catch on to her little
scheme.
Act.
Oh my gosh.
Because all the texts and emails were coming from Cari's accounts, it wasn't until 2015 that authorities really started looking into her disappearance. As they began investigating Liz, they learned that the entire ruse went much deeper than anyone could have ever imagined.
Right. Because, I mean, technology has advanced so much in the last 10 years from now to 2015, and it advanced so much even from 2012 to 2015. Mm-hmm. So, because at first I'm like, how are they even not GPS tracking them and things like that, but they probably weren't necessarily doing that immediately at that time. So
No.
that's crazy.
So let's talk about this little whirlwind of a relationship of Cari
The 2
and
weeks.
Dave.
Yeah.
So in 2012, Dave was working at an auto repair shop in Omaha, Nebraska.
Mechanic. Ooh.
At the time, he was hoping for a fresh start in life. He just split up with his long-term girlfriend, Amy Flora.
Which is different than this other chick, too?
Mhm.
Oh, my gosh.
With whom he had 2 kids with.
Okay.
He soon decided to sign up for an online dating site where he would meet Liz Gollier. The two began seeing each other, but before things could get too deep, Dave reportedly informed Gollier that he wasn't really looking for anything serious.
Sure.
So Liz, a single mom, she said she's happy with that arrangement, or so she claimed.
Mm-hmm.
Several months after meeting Liz, Dave spotted Cari when she walked into his shop, and he immediately knew there was something really special about her. He says, quote, "When we looked at each other, there was this little spark. She's showing me something inside the vehicle, and we're standing there, and we're very close. And there was some tension," end quote.
Ooh.
So Dave would ask Cari out on a date where they discussed that neither of them was looking for an exclusive relationship. The two returned to his apartment, and as Cari was leaving later, she passed a woman in the hallway. It was Liz, who had dropped by unannounced to pick up some of her things.
Okay.
It was a chance meeting, a meeting that couldn't have lasted more than a few seconds, but that would change the course of both women's lives forever.
Yeah.
So, a little bit about the mysterious disappearance. Within weeks of meeting Liz, Dave was beginning to rethink his commitment to bachelorhood. So, Cari still wanted to keep things casual, but she did agree to stay with him for a few nights in November 2012. She was working on a major project for her job, and Dave's apartment was much closer to her office than her home was. The last time anyone saw Cari alive was November 13th, 2012. She'd spent the night with Dave, and he gave her a kiss as she left for work, but she would never return.
Crazy. Oh my god.
A few hours later, however, Dave received an odd text from Cari. She told him she wanted to officially move in with him, despite the fact that they'd just discussed keeping things casual. He politely declined, and he received an angry message in response. He recalled in Oxygen's Dateline, Secrets Uncovered, that, quote, as soon as I text her back, I get a text back that says, fine, I don't ever want to see you again. Go away. I'm dating someone else. I hate you. On and on and on, end quote.
That's crazy. So, yeah. Wow. Okay, continue. I just have so many thoughts, but I feel like you're going to answer them.
So Cari's family started receiving texts as well. Her mom, Nancy Rainey, got a message from Cari saying she had moved to Kansas for a new job and would get in touch to make arrangements about picking up her 15-year-old son, Max. Randy thought this was strange, but when Cari missed her half-brother's wedding and her father's funeral, she knew something was wrong.
And the brother or the son was just left to...
Yeah, just left there.
That's sad.
Authorities reportedly tried to get in touch with Cari, but when they received messages from her number asking them to leave her alone, they dropped it.
That's crazy, though, that they're not, like, trying to investigate it more when she left a child.
Yeah,
2015. Oh, my gosh.
So
or 2012, I guess, technically.
2012, this would be.
Still.
So Cari's mom also told them that Cari had previously been diagnosed with bipolar. So investigators assumed that she stopped taking her medication and kind of vanished on her own accord. It would be years before they realized that they were wrong.
Yeah.
So on August 17th, 2013, Liz called Dave in a panic. For months, the two had bonded over the threatening messages now they were both receiving from Cari. But now things had seemed to escalate. Liz said her house had been set ablaze and her beloved pets had perished in the fire.
She's crazy. Holy cow. She is digging in. Oh my gosh.
Dave soon received a text from Cari's number that read, quote, I am not lying. I set that nasty whore's house on fire. I hope the whore and her kids die in it. End quote.
It's like when Dr. Phil reads the open the door, throw rocks through your window, you dumb whore. That's what this is like too. But like, Poor, what's his name, Dave?
Dave,
gotta be like, how do I keep attracting crazy women?
nuts.
And he's just being gaslit by one.
Yeah.
And the other one he liked got murdered.
So Dave also started receiving texts outlining exactly what he was doing or what he was wearing at that moment. Some of these messages would come in while he was in the same room as Liz, and he could see that she wasn't using her phone at the time, so he had no reason to suspect that she was behind them. When Dave changed his phone number, the messages stopped for a while. In February 2015, he moved to Council Bluffs, Iowa, and he stopped spending as much time with Liz. It was around the same time that detectives finally began digging deeper into Cari's odd disappearance. So kind of uncovering this weird truth. So in the spring of 2015, detectives Ryan Avis and Jim Dowdy of the Pottawatomie County Sheriff's Office in Council Bluffs started a full-blown investigation into Farver's whereabouts. They suspected she was dead, but they weren't sure when or how she died.
Sure.
Investigators had searched Cari's abandoned car shortly after her disappearance, but when they checked it again more thoroughly in 2015, they found bloodstains beneath the fabric of the passenger seat. They downloaded the contents of Dave and Liz's phones for their investigation, and digital forensics discovered something odd. Liz's device showed evidence that she had photos of Cari's car, 20 to 30 fake email accounts, and an app that allowed her to schedule text messages to be sent at a future time.
Oh.
The detectives would zero in on Liz, and when she suspected that they might be on to her, she told them that she thought Dave's ex-girlfriend, Amy Flora, had killed Cari.
Right.
So, Mama.
Right.
And she believed that Amy's been the one harassing them all along. Shortly after that conversation, Liz called 911 from Big Lake Park in Council Bluffs, saying that Amy Flora had shot her in the leg.
Oh my God.
Unbeknownst to her, Amy had a solid alibi. So Liz's story started to unravel, but the final nail in the coffin came when detectives would search her tablet. So mind you, this woman shot
herself. Lit her house on fire, killed her pets, been gaslighting this man that she supposedly loved, murdered a woman.
Yes.
Whew. And she thought Cari was bipolar.
This woman, not well.
No, oh my gosh.
So on this tablet, on the SD card, police found thousands of deleted images, including one of Cari's body decomposing.
So she then went back. Oh, that is like, okay. I know you have to be mentally like ill to like murder someone, cover it up, all that jazz, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to go back to like the body is just a whole nother level of like ick to me.
You are reading
and document it, because
Mm-hmm.
not only did she go back, she had pictures of it on her tablet. So she's like a Karen, taking pictures of this woman's decomposing body. Oh God,
absolutely.
Okay.
So Liz had stabbed Cari to death in her own car on or around November 13th of 2012.
Sure.
She then spent 3 years sending 15,000 emails and up to 50,000 texts.
Oh my gosh.
Posing as Cari to cover her crime. She even burned down her own house, killed her pets, and shot herself in the leg to carry out all the lies. This woman's nuts.
I mean, once you're in that deep, I guess.
Oh!
I'm sure she's like, I killed this woman. I burnt my house down. I killed my pets. I can shoot myself.
I could pop myself in the leg.
That's insane.
In 2017, Liz was convicted of first-degree murder and second-degree arson. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Dave was left stunned on like how the investigation unfolded. He said out of the ordeal, quote, "I want Liz to go away and never do this to anybody again. Nancy and Cari's son were foremost in my mind. They're unfortunately the ones that have to live with the repercussions."
Yeah.
End quote. So that is the story of this weird love triangle between Dave, Liz, and Cari. And again, mind you, nothing was like, everyone was like, we're all dating. Everyone's dating casually.
Right.
And this woman casually dated this man for not that long and then
murdered another woman because of it.
And lied for how long?
That's just insane. That's absolutely crazy to me. I just can't even imagine, like, I don't know. That's crazy to me.
I mean, what else is there, you know?
Yeah. I just, like, obviously, it's one of those things where it's like, now we're committed. We have to, like, keep going through it. Like, we can't back out now. Like, if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to murder this woman, then you're like, well, then I'll burn my house down.
Mm-hmm.
And then my pet, I'm sure, I don't know if she meant to kill her pets. It's like, then her pets died. So, well, if that already happened, then I guess I can shoot myself.
I guess, but that's crazy.
Obviously, she's meant, like, not well.
That's fair. But,
fair. Like, it's just, you hear all of these things, and you're like, and she was only charged with murder and arson. Like, you would think that, like, it would almost qualify as, like, stalking or something. Or, like, identity theft or something to be able to, like, keep harassing this man. Some sort of harassment or something.
You would think. One, a lot of the pattern that you would see is every time, like, Dave and Liz's relationship would really start to fizzle, something, like, big and drastic would happen.
To try to pull him back in.
After they broke up in August 2013, that's when her house burned down.
Yeah.
You know, and it was Cari, and that was crazy. So it's just a lot of, like,
manipulation and psychotic tendencies.
There's just a lot of weird behavior. And mind you, like, I think they started dating, quote unquote dating, in, like, the fall of 2012 as well.
Right. Like, it was right around the same time.
Correct. And Cari was murdered on the 13th of November.
And what's crazy on top of this is this whole time she's doing this, she's, like, raising children.
Yep.
Woof.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
That is crazy.
There is a Netflix documentary. I believe it's called, like, Love, Lies, and Murder or something like that.
Oh, I did see that advertised.
All about this. They interviewed Dave because Dave also was a suspect for some time. Because
I'm sure he was, like, and then he has to go through the whole, like, trauma of, like, being investigated while he's also being harassed, while he's also being manipulated by this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Here's Liz, by the way.
That
checks out.
Black-haired eye.
And there's Cari.
Oh.
I mean, is it fair that I showed a mugshot of Liz and, like, a nice photo of Cari? Probably not. But to be fair, you're not a nice woman.
No, you don't deserve to have a nice photo.
You don't deserve to have a nice photo.
No.
Oh.
Wow, crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I also have a fun little Reddit story.
Love it.
Because I kind of fell down the rabbit hole of, like, when I was looking at this, I was like, God, we don't really talk a lot about, like, stalking or anything like that. And it just so happened that I got a notification that in the Best of Redditor updates, there was this kind of creepy story, and it's about a teacher. So I was like, perfect!
Okay. Nightmare fuel. Let's go.
So this is, the title of this is my 30 female student, 18 male, made a super creepy comment, and my husband, 35 male, thinks I'm being paranoid.
So she's teaching a high schooler?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is what the post reads. This was posted January 21st.
So, like, a week ago.
2025. Yeah.
Holy cow.
My nose. So itchy. Anyways, it reads, I'm a high school English teacher and have been for a few years. In that time, as a woman, I've been used to teenage boys behaving awkwardly around me, sometimes, and pheromones are a part of the deal. There have been occasional comments, but generally in the vein of Miss So... God. I've been sick all week, and now we're really...
Talking too much.
I'm going to be, like, dying the whole time. But generally in the vein of, Miss So-and-so has a crush on you, or Miss, would you be so-and-so's Valentine?
Right.
It's all in good humor, in front of the whole class or a large group, and it's usually well-meaning. My school throws a January ball for seniors, so 16 through 18, which is basically an opportunity to celebrate the start of another calendar year. It's after hours and not every teacher has to attend. And this year I was asked to chaperone. There is no alcohol permitted, but obviously some of them sneak in hip flasks and so on. During this month's ball, 2 students were huddled at a table in the corner of the hall, not dancing, just keeping to themselves. I know them well as problematic students who have difficulties socially but also perform poorly academically. So they don't fit in with the popular crowd or the nerdy crowd. We have some of these every year. Think poor hygiene, greasy hair, long fingernails, that sort of thing.
Yuck. Yuck, yuck, and yuck.
Icky. Cool. Immediately, I could tell they had been drinking from the way they spoke and smelled, and I asked them to hand over any alcohol they had. One of the boys, call him Stuart, started protesting. He said the following, and I'm 100% sure this is what he actually said, quote, "Come on, miss. Don't pretend you won't open that bottle of Bailey's when you get home. Feet up in your dressing gown, watching the new TV. Give us a break," end quote.
Oh.
Now, as soon as he said this, I felt my heart drop in my stomach and I got cold all over. 1, I had just bought a bottle of Bailey's Irish Cream for myself the weekend before the dance. 2, I am in the habit on nights where I don't have much marking or planning, and I want to treat myself of having a bath and watching a movie/series in my dressing gown. And 3, my husband bought a new television over Christmas.
That's crazy.
I asked him how he knew those things, and he feigned ignorance, basically saying it was a lucky guess. I was so shaken that I left them, and a short while later, they both left. But that night, I could barely sleep, and my paranoia kept growing. I simply cannot believe that he could have guessed all 3 of those things. 1 maybe, but no way all 3. My husband is away for work currently. I phoned and told him about it, and he basically downplayed my concerns, saying I probably mentioned these things in my class at various points, and that this student had just remembered it. But I would never mention these things.
No.
I just wouldn't, and I'm sure I haven't. I become more skittish at home when I hear noises. I only live in a small house, but when I arrive home from buying groceries, I check every single room and cupboard before locking the doors. I've also arranged to have the locks changed. When cars stop outside the house, I turn all the lights off and peek at them through the blinds. I'm having trouble sleeping. In class, the student is quiet and the same as ever, not completing homework assignments, distracted in class. My husband is growing increasingly exasperated and worried more for my mental health than the possibility this student could somehow know details of my personal life. I mentioned it to my supervisor as well, and she basically reasoned that I had either misheard what he said, it was a coincidence, or a combination of the 2.
Gaslighting. Perfect.
She says, "What's the play here? I'm seriously freaked out and I don't know how to even begin putting this to rest." So that's the original post.
Okay.
There is an update.
Oh gosh.
But
that's
as a
scary.
teacher, yeah.
Like, there's no way. The only of any of those things that she might have mentioned she got a new TV. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, she's not going to bring up any sort of alcohol, anything during class.
No.
And she's not going to mention sitting and watching TV in a dressing gown. And most people wouldn't say it like that either.
And she's British, so it's a robe.
But whatever. Either way, I'm like, that is terrifying.
It's just not, like, to me, it's one thing to be like, if he was like, oh, whatever, you don't kick your feet back and drink a little wine or whatever. Like,
right.
You're very generic, like.
Or, like, you don't crack a beer when you get home, or whatever you say. Like, very general, but not like
a
this
specific
and
alcohol
this and this.
on your new TV in the outfit you like to wear that no one knows.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Weird.
Yeah, no.
So the update.
Oh, gosh.
I wasn't expecting this post to receive so much attention. I'm really grateful to so many people who have validated my concerns and helped me to develop a plan of action. I got home a little while ago, and I'm going out shortly with a friend to try and rule out Bluetooth and Wi-Fi devices with my neighbors. After that, the 2 of us will try to conduct a meticulous search of the house for any concealed devices using the lights out phone camera trick some people recommended and some other tips I found online. Just to clarify a couple of points that I've seen raised. Dressing gown is a really common term here in England for what Americans might call a robe. It's absolutely commonplace
for him to say that.
Most people here would associate a robe with something a wizard might wear.
Like Harry Potter.
So that's why she called it a dressing gown.
Sure, that makes sense.
In terms of it being a lucky guess, if he had just said relax with a glass of wine,
right,
I might have assumed so. But the dressing gown comment plus the Bailey's comment when I had just bought a bottle and the explicit mention of a new television, which I am 100% certain I did not misinterpret. These things make it so much harder to write off as just being a coincidence.
For sure, I agree.
As far as social media goes, I have Instagram, which is set to private under my maiden name, and my profile picture is not of me. I am not in the habit of connecting with former students. I only have 3 who have all gone on to study English at university and have used me as references. I also have a Snapchat, which I use only with my husband and very close friends. I have posted nothing about my new television, and I also don't think I've mentioned this to colleagues, let alone to students. Certainly, I said nothing about the Baileys I just bought.
Right.
So that's the update 1.
There's another update after that too?
There is one more update.
Holy cow. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I agree with all those things. Like, I don't think she's, like, faking it or nothing.
When do you bring up alcohol
No.
in school? You don't.
You don't. There's no way that you said it.
No.
Or she said it.
So update January 26th.
So 5 days after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm stressed.
I wasn't going to post an update here, but the number of worried people who have reached out to me made me reconsider. After a thorough search of my house, I found 2 devices.
What?
Mm-hmm. They seem to be camera devices. I don't know if audio is included. One of them was in the smoke detector in my bedroom, while the other was concealed in the wall of my living room.
How do you even find that?
There's like this trick, you shut all your lights off and you go into your camera and like you can see the like infrared light reflecting back at you.
But still, oh
Isn't
my
that fucking nuts. Looking at an old picture of my bedroom, it looks like the smoke detector itself has changed very slightly. So like they changed the smoke detector. I think that the new one is a device in itself, which the culprit somehow switched with the old one without us noticing. The matter has now been referred to the police. If it wasn't for so many of you taking me seriously and giving me practical advice, I wouldn't have had the courage to check, especially given my husband downplaying the concerns. He has been very apologetic and is coming back from his work trip early, but I've asked to spend some time apart and will be staying with my parents for a while. I'm glad I raised the issue with the head at my school and a couple of others, as there's a paper trail, another suggestion with the thread. Needless to say, I'm completely shaken to my core, and I have the most revolting feeling of my privacy being invaded. I have no idea how many people have been involved in this, but phones have been taken from students, and we should have more answers soon. I won't be making any more posts or updates. Thank you again for everyone affirming me and making me feel sane. So
crazy.
The thing is this is technically, they say it's ongoing in this thread. Reason being, comments are overwhelmingly like, you're telling me 2 teenage boys broke into your house without you knowing to replace a smoke detector that looked exactly like your last smoke detector and like put it in your living room that's not a good access point.
Right.
They're like, your husband put those up.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Everyone is like, yeah, your husband put those up. And either A, like,
did he do it because he's gone on work trips a lot and was thinking you're like cheating on him or whatever, so he can check in on the house when he's not there, kind of thing?
Yeah. So it's either strangers have access to her house or someone she knows and trusts is involved. And like,
the comments from the student are still weird though.
So someone else in the comments said, do you think that like it could have been possibly that the students hacked the cameras?
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Is there a way to like hack them? But then they would have to know that they're in there, right?
Correct.
Or if you like can connect to some sort of Bluetooth device and they can see it as like a Bluetooth device that's a camera or something and just tried it. Like, I have no idea. I don't know how to do any of that, but
yeah. Or unfortunately, is it something that like the husband has this weird thing that he is doing almost like a live feed,
right?
Or a live stream? Like there is that kind of weird, like I want, like no one will know if I just like post my wife.
That's so odd.
Yeah, like is it like, is he making money streaming her? Is it some kind of weird kink?
Yeah.
Like,
and then the student happened to find it or something?
Yeah. It just like that, like the husband setting it up feels more likely Then 2 teenage boys breaking into your house with expensive equipment
Right.
and just filming her.
No matter what, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that freaking nuts?
Yeah, I can't even imagine. It makes me kind of sick to my stomach, actually.
He said sorry. At least your kids are young. You know, maybe they wouldn't do that.
No, they can't even log into their Chromebooks.
Same.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So technically it's not, she said she's not going to post any updates. So as far as we know, it's probably done. But girl, get away from your husband.
I want like a year later, like, yeah, actually it was my husband. He's crazy. Now he's in jail.
Yeah, same.
That's what I want. Anyway, well, I don't want that, but that's...
I just want to know you're safe and out of danger.
I agree. Oh my gosh. Well, that's kind of a crazy, like, end to our true crime today. But we do have a little assignment that we have to do before we end the episode. So, as you know, we are affiliated with Flurry Sports. And
we present our theories on your favorite place
to listen to podcasts every Wednesdays. And they gave us a little homework to do based on the Super Bowl that's this weekend?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So we are going to be giving you the most accurate and the most correct predictions so that you can use them for your sports betting. We take no financial responsibility for anything that you say, or anything that we say. But I like to think that my opinions matter.
Same. I think they do all the time.
So what I do, I copied what they sent us, and we can just go over each one. And I feel like we can just do like a podcast vote. Like we have to agree, I think.
Okay.
The issue is some of these things I don't know if I'm gonna tell you this correctly or not. And then the last one's like, what's your favorite Super Bowl food and why? I think we can each give our own favorite.
Amazing.
Okay, so the first thing we have to decide on is who do we think is going to win, the Chiefs or the Eagles? Should we just say who we think on the count of 3?
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Chiefs.
Okay, that's easy. I just feel like they are doing so well.
I just feel like
I like the Eagles. Like I wouldn't be upset with either outcome, but
I don't really care either way. I just think that the storyline makes sense for the Chiefs to get a 3-peat.
Yeah.
So I think
just listen to the Flurry Sports podcast. It's all booked.
It is. So here comes the Chiefs.
Here you go. Okay, number 2 is over/under 49 points scored. I'm guessing that means combined.
Yeah, that's like added together.
Okay.
So do you think they're going to both score like 25 or more?
I think so.
You do? That's a lot.
25 points?
Each?
I guess that's like 3 touchdowns each.
That's like 4 touchdowns each.
I know, field goal.
18
would get you to 48, so I have to do one more. I don't know. 20-some points?
I feel like most Super Bowls are under that.
But not, I mean, okay, so I'm fine. Do you want to do under?
I think so.
Okay, sounds good. We'll do the under. I think I'd rather have a more high-scoring game. I think that's more entertaining to watch.
Same.
Okay.
That's not helpful. Oh, that's yards.
Are you Googling
I'm
Super
like, what's the average?
Average score for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, the average score is...
like teens?
Well, the last time the Eagles and the Chiefs played, it was 38-35.
What am I saying? Should we do the over?
Why don't we do the over? Why not? I think it'd be more fun.
I think over is more fun. This is more fun outcome, I think.
I agree.
Okay. Next is the coin toss. Heads or tails?
I think tails.
Do you know, like, isn't it, like, really common to always get heads, so tails would be more fun?
I think it's really common to get tails. I think that's the other way around.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do tails. This is where I am useless. Are you ready? Which player scores the first touchdown?
You're so lucky you have me. I Googled.
Oh, good.
I think it's going to be a wide receiver.
Okay, do you think, so I guess here's the question. Do we know, like, who gets to pick heads or tails? Or is that decided the day of? Was it, like, the team with the best record gets to pick heads or tails?
I have no idea. I just said, you ready for this? I went, the Chiefs.
Well, I was thinking, are the Chiefs picking heads or tails? And then I was like, if the Chiefs win, then they'll probably make the Eagles receive right away, right? So do we want to pick a wide receiver on the Eagles? Is this too much thought?
I don't know. The Chiefs will pick.
Okay, so Chiefs, let's say Chiefs pick tails. They get tails. They're probably going to pick to receive after halftime, right?
Right.
So they'll make the Eagles receive. So if the Eagles score in the first drive, this is lots of obviously variables. Who's a good wide receiver for the Eagles? Or don't they have a really good running back? Didn't they pay a bunch of money?
Barkley's a very good running back of theirs.
So do we think maybe they'll get to the end and he'll run it in?
Sure, let's go Saquon.
How do you spell his name?
Oh boy.
Because didn't they pay a bunch of money for him?
Yeah.
Okay, so that fits the narrative of look, you should pay these people some money.
He also seems so nice. I don't know if he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Saquon is Saquon.
Okay, and then Barkley like normal.
Yeah.
Ley.
Yep.
Saquon.
Saquon.
Perfect. Ooh, this one's fun. Are you ready?
Yes.
What color Gatorade is dumped on the coach? So last year I think I picked purple and it was purple.
Yeah.
Do we think it's going to be a color of the team? Do you think they do red? Because it's their third. If the Chiefs win?
That's what I'm like. But did they do purple the last 2 years?
No, I think purple. This was the first time they've done purple in
ever.
I don't know if it's ever, but for a long time.
I love purple. I don't know why you would
do too. But I love a blue Gatorade.
Same.
But
I think they are gonna match though. I think they're gonna do a red because then it's
we're the three Pete's and we got red Gatorade dumped on him. But then I'm like, do they do a different color for the effect?
Do they do a yellow? For we are the champions, we are number one.
Ooh. Or orange? I don't know.
Yellow, maybe not.
I don't know if yellow would read well on the screen. And I don't think green would read well on the screen.
No.
So my vote would be a red or an orange.
I think it's going to be a red. Okay,
I like red.
I think orange clashes too much.
Yeah, I think red's going to be
red on red.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay. Who do we think wins the MVP award?
It's usually the quarterback.
That's what I'm thinking, Pat Mahomes.
So probably Pat. Patty.
Should I say Patty? Patty Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Or whatever his kid's name is now, Goldie. Because they did gold, silver, and bronze are their kids' names. But they started with bronze and then went to silver, and now their youngest is gold.
That's awful.
Yeah. I don't know. And that leads us to our favorite Super Bowl food.
Oh! I don't know if it's not just a Super Bowl food.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's two.
It's leading us into our heavy apps conversation.
I
love a heavy appetizer.
A mozzarella stick.
Ooh.
Hits home every single time.
I like that. I like it.
Every single time.
So is that your...
I think it has to be. I love a mozz stick.
Okay, so Emily's is a mozzarella stick. I think mine is a buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah.
I think it's just a classic. It's always good. It's filling.
Yeah. I love a nacho too is my other.
Queso dip.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Rotel.
Yeah.
Velveeta
cheese dip.
My mouth is watering.
I love a nacho or a quesadilla. I love a heavy app.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. The Chiefs are going to win. They're going to be over 49 points. We're picking tails. We think Saquon Barkley is going to score the first touchdown. We're going to have some red Gatorade. Patty Mahomes will win MVP. And you should enjoy watching all these predictions come true while eating some buffalo chicken dip and mozzarella sticks. Dip the mozzarella stick in the buffalo chicken dip.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome.
That sounds delicious. Now I want a mozzarella stick.
I do too. Well, that pretty much wraps up our episode this week. If you have any true crime stories you want us to cover in the coming weeks, please let us know. Otherwise, we will see you all next time.
Bye.